We're talking to one of the stars of The Devil Conspiracy, Joe Anderson. And Joe, you play Lucifer in the movie. Tell us about how you came to be part of The Devil Conspiracy.
It's funny. Just as you said that, I was expecting a last name, like you played Lucifer. I don't know, Lucifer, whoever. I got sent a script with the offer to play the devil, and read it and loved it. Loved the idea, loved the premise, loved the idea of the sort of two sides, religion and science coming together, which I think is pretty apt. Actually, that's happening a lot at the moment. We're sort of discovering things and using science to sort of prove mythology, and so I just thought it was a great base to pull from, and then of course Lucifer himself. I hadn't actually seen a devil that wasn't already in a sort of human form, like the guy in this film. He's not a devil who's wandering around New York or somewhere creating havoc. He's not a sort of martini drinking, I'm the devil, ha ha ha. He is literally a fallen angel, straight from, he's been cast out, and we meet him as he hits hell. So it's more sort of the archetypal William Blake imagery. It's that kind of classic look and feel with him, and it's something that I thought was kind of fresh, as opposed to doing the kind of I'm the devil. So yeah, I thought it would be a good challenge.
And at the same time, I think there's something of a timeless quality to what you're doing with this character, in terms of the way he talks and the way he carries himself.
What that was, that really came from the script itself. If there weren't too many scenes that were long drawn out dialogue scenes where you sort of got a sense of who the guy is from the nuance of the language. It was immediately evident as to his state of mind from what was happening, from what you were seeing, and also I think if I tried to. The look was so grand and so big that if you tried to affect anything more, you're just kind of, adding too much, and it becomes too much. So I think I was just trying to keep it real. I mean, as strange as that sounds, but keep it real.
And you've also got a very strong vocal performance in this as well.
Yeah, I couldn't speak for a few days after filming it, but yeah. I mean, that was something Nathan kept saying. I kept saying to him, "You are gonna change my voice, right? You are gonna add something to it." Because I was, because the look was so big, and bold, that you couldn't come out talking like an English, sort of English posh Englishman, or this or that or whatever. It had to have something. And Nathan kept saying, so I developed this voice and got this voice, and I kept asking Nathan, "You are going to enhance it?" And he kept saying, "No, we're just going to leave it as it is." But I realized now, I think he was just messing with me to push me so that I would go even further and further and further with it. And then, of course, they add to it, in post, which we had to do anyway, because there was so much special effects stuff going on with fans and things like that. So that's always an interesting one when you develop something and you get on set and then suddenly you can't even hear yourself, let alone the other actor, because there's wind machines or there's whatever's going on in the background. So you try not to fight that and stay true to what you're doing.
You found the tone of it very well, because this is a very big movie. Like, there is a lot happening. This is an action film set in the world of religion and science, and you've got to match the energy. And this is a very energetic movie.
It is, but in a strange way, I was operating in a complete vacuum, and knew that I would be, but obviously based upon the script, But one of the tricky things was knowing the movie well enough in my head, so that all the thoughts and awareness. He's in hell, and he can hear to a certain degree what's going on upstairs, above ground in the real world. And to have that movie in my head as we were filming that was useful. But there was it can be quite tricky sometimes when you're just acting to nothing really. So to be on top of everyone else's material as well as yours helps with that. So even though it was a short shoot, it felt bigger than it was.
And of course, given the situation where your character is so remote from the other actors, you really have to trust your director.
Absolutely, and Nathan was great. He was very, very quick. He would shoot 2-3 takes. He'd move on. He knew exactly. There was no wasting of time. There was, some films you can spend hours and hours or days and days while people discuss what they're going to shoot and from what angle. And there was none of that. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they just came in and executed it. And I think sometimes, when you have a huge budget, there can be just too much time. And I think sometimes, trying to pull something off, the scope of this film is so large. The budget is not a massive budget. And so I think it applies a little bit of pressure on set, which actually is a good thing. And it just makes people bring their A game and just execute, because there's no time to mess around,
So Joe, what's next for you?
Well, I've just finished filming a thing called The Last Front, which is a First World War film set in Belgium. And the Germans invade a small town in Belgium with Ian Glenn from Game of Thrones and we've literally just finished that, so that will be out sometime next year. And that's it for the moment. We'll see what the new year holds.
Well, of course, you've got The Devil Conspiracy and coming out this weekend. And just, Joe, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you, Sean. Take care, man.
Have a good day.
All right, take care, buddy. Bye.